So this is going to be one of the first of many live streams over here at Cardinal Music Company. For those of y'all that don't know who I am Landry Wilkinson. I own Landry Sound Design. This is my parents' store. Today we're going to be kind of going through the Mackie stuff. If you have not kept up with the Mackie product, then this is your chance to really start getting involved. They've been coming out some really cool stuff. Today we're going over 3 things out of the many of their portable stuff. We're going to go over the Mackie ProFx10 Go. We've got the mobile mix, and we've got the Showbox. Here in a few minutes, we'll actually have a rep from Mackie. We're going to call him and kind of demo the ProFx10 while he talks about the Showbox. So, couple quick things before we really dive in. The main thing to know is that, yes, I am talking through the ProFx10 Go. It is a fully battery-powered mixer. It does have an interchangeable battery. It's easy to replace. But phantom power, it's got effects, doesn't have a monitor out, but it has everything else. So there's 3 different USB modes on this. You have the standard, the loopback, and the interface. So interface is going to be your channels 1 and 2. Right now we're using the standard, which is taking the overall mix and sending it over USB to the computer. Now, the cool thing is that because it takes the overall, this mixer has Bluetooth bidirectional. The mobile mix has this as well, but for what we're doing the ProFx10 Go to be able to demonstrate this. But we're able to take and do phone calls through the ProFx10, and you can hear the far end while I'm talking to them through the mixer. So if you're trying to do podcasts, or if you're trying to do something kind of with the live show, like for example, let's say you're trying to do a live acoustic show. You've got acoustic guitar player, singer, and then you have somebody that's trying to host a live podcast. You can take phone calls live. It will come over your PA, and they will be able to hear everything that's going on through your mixer on the far end. The mixer automatically handles the mix minus, so you don't have to worry about trying to make sure that it doesn't feed back on them or anything like that. It handles it all internally. All you do is make the call, and they will hear what you have going into the mixer. So both the ProFx10 and the mobile mix have this feature. The Showbox, I'm not going to talk a ton on. I have played with it, but we're not going to talk a ton on it until I actually get our rep on the phone, because he's going to be the one to kind of go over this guy. I played with it a lot yesterday. I really like it. It's got some cool features that I wouldn't expect out of a small box. I mean, some of the recording, the effects that it has, the ease of use. I mean, it's super cool, and I don't know if you can see it on here, but this actually has a mixer that goes on the stand. So I am actively hearing myself behind me because I've got our feed going into here, and I'm mixing it in the store. So really cool stuff. The main thing that, if you haven't noticed, is kind of the key piece of this, is all of this is battery powered. The Showbox, the ProFx10 Go, and the mobile mix are all battery powered in different ways. So the mobile mix, I'll go ahead and grab it right quick. This is your little mobile mix. The cool thing about it is it does have a dedicated power connection right here, and it does come with a power cord. It has 2 different ways that you can do bidirectional communication with it. Either you can do the 3.5mm connection here, and it comes with that cable as well, or you can do it over Bluetooth. There's also a second one on the back. Now, cool thing is like I said, these are battery powered in different ways. This uses a power bank. So if you've got power banks laying around the house and you're worried about, like, oh man, what if my battery goes out? You don't have to worry about it with this one, because you can just grab any power bank and use it on here. So still has effects. You have a slot to be able to set your phone on. You have combo jacks for your channels 1 and 2, and then your little 1/4-inch connections here are stereo connections, and then 5 and 6 are over here for your headphone connection. So you have headphone out, you have Bluetooth bidirectional, you have a crossover on your channels 1 and 2. You do have phantom power on this, which I think is really cool. The fact that you can have phantom power with a little power bank plug, that's kind of killer. So we're doing this because it's kind of hard to know if you like something without seeing something. So it's like you want to buy it, but you can't see it. So you don't know if you want to buy it if you can't see it, but it looks really cool. So we've got this set up in the store at Cardinal Music Company. It's going to be set up here. If you want to come put your hands on it, come check it out, see what it looks like, see how it sounds. It's set up over here. I'm a very big proponent of I want you to see it. I want you to have your hands on it. I want you to hear it. It doesn't help anybody if it's not in front of you. So that's what's been really cool about some of the Mackie stuff. Mackie's been a very big supporter of us doing these videos, being able to kind of showcase this stuff for you guys and let you see it with hands-on. So they've been cool enough to be able to let one of the reps call on here in just a minute, and we'll talk through the box. So on the ProFx10 Go, lots of features on it that you wouldn't expect. So everybody knows the ProFX. It's been around for years. It's tried and true mixer, is what it is. They've made some changes. So if you haven't seen the ProFX Plus series, they now have a little LCD screen on here where you can edit your effects. So it's not just a rotation of different effects that you just kind of select and then you're mixing that to your channels. You now have a rotation of effects that you can edit. So I can go in and choose whether I want it to be a delay with reverb, a chorus, anything like that, and I can change the length of the tail, I can change the depth of it, I can change all kinds of things. And then that's my effect for here. It still has phantom power, still has combo jacks on the first two channels, and then you have two XLR connections on here. So the cool thing that I really, really like about this is it's super smooth. I still have my mute buttons here. Everything's right here at my fingertips. I still have my high, mids, and low. I have my effects. I have my overall effects control here. And then I have my meters. Now, the one thing that with this mixer is you don't have a dedicated monitor, so you can't mix like a monitor out. But it does have a control room. So if you're doing an acoustic show, you don't necessarily need a monitor. You just need to be able to hear yourself. But you may not need to have the main mix be the same level. So you can use that control room out, go into a monitor, and then you have an overall level for that control room. So that's one way you can get around that. You have your quarter-inch connections. You have your high pass, slow pass. You have your compression on here for your first two channels. You can pan left and right. And as I said, it is a USB interface. If you're looking to get into podcasting or you're looking to do live streams, this is a great way to be able to get into it, especially if you're wanting to stream your acoustic shows. I'm kind of overkilling it here. What we've got is we're using a little camera going into a laptop here, and then I'm going to have the Mackie ProFX running USB into the computer. And then for me to be able to hear Jim on the other line, I've actually got the line coming out into the Showbox, and I'm controlling the Showbox from the mic stand right here. So I can hear myself talking, I can hear the call coming through, I have full control of the effects. And as we get into the Showbox and kind of talking over certain details, I'll put up some graphics and stuff so that way you can see it. But I'd say let's go ahead and call them and get them on the phone.
Landry,
Hey.
good morning. Good
Morning.
afternoon.
Yeah, morning, afternoon. We are live, and I have you coming through two things at once here. I've got your phone call coming through the Mackie ProFx10 Go, and I've got the feed coming out for me to be able to hear you through the Showbox. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so we are live streaming. We're on Facebook right now. We're using OBS to kind of put it all together here. So everybody's able to hear you. I can hear you, and hopefully you can hear me.
This is totally awesome, man. You're doing a killer job.
Man, thank you. So, we're on to the part about the Showbox. I've kind of touched on the
Love
Mackie
the Showbox.
ProFX, and I've kind of touched on the mobile mix. I want to go over the Showbox and kind of let you lead talk on that.
Yeah, definitely. My pleasure. So this is my favorite Mackie product. Just so you know a little bit about me, I had managed a music store for about 25 years in the Pacific Northwest and sold a lot of, guitars, kind of full line like yourself, PA drums, kind of the whole deal. Started working at Mackie about 8 years ago, and this has been my favorite product since I started working here. Just because personally I play a little guitar, sing a little bit, Not great at either, but I have fun. And the Showbox, I think, is just a great product. So basically, in a nutshell, it's a all-in-one performance rig for a solo or a duo. Battery operated, you're going to get about 12 hours of battery life on playing it. And there are definitely things on the market like this. What's super cool about the Showbox is it's not just a two-input box. You can actually plug in two instruments, two microphones, and then there's also a stereo input. So I could plug in like a little mixer or electronic drum kit or keyboard, which also is a Bluetooth channel. And I can actually run signal through that stereo channel and Bluetooth at the same time. The stereo channel is dual quarter-inch or an eighth-inch aux. So with this, you can really plug in 5 sources. In other products in the market that are similar to this, they give you 2 inputs. Um, and you see on the screen there, you've got a picture of our breakaway mixer.
Mhm.
So what's nice about this is the mixer plugs right into the side of the box, as you can see there on your image, operates perfectly that way. So it's like any powered speaker, plug your stuff in, you could turn your knobs from the side. But kind of the idea is this is going to be for more of a performer. So it comes with a little mic stand adapter, which you can see in the picture, where you've got your breakaway mixer connected to that.
Yeah.
What's super cool is this is the brain then. So within that, you can see you've got buttons for each of your channels right across the top, which you go and select anything that I want to change. All my inputs are going to plug into the back of the mixer, but I'm going to control it through this breakaway mixer. So there you can see channel 2 is engaged. Channel 2 is one of our instrument inputs. So the way this is laid out is channel 1 is microphone 1, channel 2 is your guitar input. Channel 3 is your second microphone input, and channel 4 is your second instrument input.
Which I gotta say, I
So I can
really
go
like
through
that
there.
because I was messing with it yesterday, and I really like the fact that you have your vocal one, your guitar one, your vocal two, your guitar two. They're together.
Exactly. Yep. And if you're doing a duo or something like that, it's perfectly laid out for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Guitar one, or performer one, then move over to the next guy. So super nice that way. So you just kind of pick whichever button, 1, 2, 3, or 4, on whichever channel you want to adjust. So as you can see there, your first knob, and these are encoder knobs, so they spin all the way around.
Hmm.
Um, your first knob is going to be your volume and your gain. So it's kind of like having a mixer where you've got an input trim on the front end,
I got
which
you.
is kind of cool. Depending, if somebody sings louder than the other person or their guitar's got more output, you can roll that trim back so you're not distorting your input, which is kind of cool. And so on that button, you can see it's lit up green around the encoder knob. But if I press that button, it's going to go into gain, which you can see right there is below that. And then those lights will turn to white. If you leave
Oh.
it inactive for I think like 10 seconds or 7 seconds or something like that, it's just going to switch back to gain. So that's knob 1, knob 2, 3, and 4. Right to the right of those in that same row are your EQ. So low, mid, and high.
Hmm.
As we go to the next row down, you've got your one knob compression. So kind of like on our ProFx mixers, you've got one knob compression. And then what I really like about this too is not only do I have more inputs than other things on the market, I've got more effects. So what's cool is I've got 2 separate effects engines, and those are both orange on your breakaway mixer, where I can set up 2 independent effects. So I can set up say on my vocal, I could do like a little bit of delay, and on the next knob over, I could do a little reverb if I
Yeah.
want. On my guitar, what's really cool then is I could use a little distortion and a little chorus. And what's even better is my second guitar player can run totally different effects than I'm running. So most of the things kind of out in the marketplace, you've kind of got, you've got some reverb or a reverb delay, or you know what I mean? You pick
Yeah.
your effect you want and you're kind of stuck with it.
But you have
On this, I
individually
mean,
assignable
you've got
effects
wide
to
range of
each channel,
options.
which is
Pardon me?
I said, but you have individually assignable effects to each channel, which is crazy.
100%. No, it's awesome. It's cool. And what's even better is you can store 5 scenes in here. So if you are a duo and you've got songs, with a different palette on your guitars, maybe something's got like a little bit of crunch and some verb on it, but another song, you want some delay chorus and some verb. You can set a scene for that and you just switch it for your next song. So you don't have to sit in there and spin your knobs. It's like, oh, we're gonna do this other song now, and let me change my settings.
Yeah.
It's like just click the snapshot button, which is kind of on that second effects knob, and you can see where it says snapshot.
Yeah.
So when I press and hold that effects 2 button, it's going to go to my snapshots. So I can just pull up a new snapshot. So I don't have to change my EQs, my volumes, my effects, anything. It's just here's a new snapshot for this song we're doing. So those are really my favorite features on this, just because there's cool stuff out on the market right now. It's a great time to be alive. There's like a lot of battery operated stuff. Things sound great. This just gives you more inputs and more flexibility than kind of anything out there. I mean, you can go do a duo with this box. And it does have a line out as well. So your mix out, if you doing maybe a little bigger gig or something like this, you can plug this into another speaker and get more coverage on it. Although with 400 watts, I think it's like 122 dB output. For a small room, doing some acoustic stuff,
Yeah.
this is going to be killer.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Well, we've got some places over here in the Shreveport-Bossier area that this would work fantastic for, and being able to have those multiple mixes, being able to have individual assignable effects, that's great. Now, I do want to ask too. I noticed there's a couple connections here on the
Sure.
back of the controller and on the back of the speaker. I see there's a USB connection.
That is to power your USB device. So if
So
I'm
you're
somebody
saying that
who's
I can
like
charge
pulling
my
up
iPad while I
lyrics,
use this speaker?
yeah, yeah. So you could, on your mic stand, you could have your mixer, you could have your iPad with your song set list on it. If you're like pulling up lyrics or chords, doing stuff on the fly, somebody says, "Hey, could you play Dust in the Wind for me?" And it's like, kind of, but it's been a while. You can pull that up on whatever, app you're using,
Yeah.
and this will send power from the speaker through the Cat 5 out that USB output. Now it's not, it's just for powering, but
Oh,
there is a
one more time. It cut out for
USB-C
just a
on the
second. That's my
back of
signal.
the speaker to do that with.
One more
Pardon
time.
me?
You said it's not for what? My signal cut out for just a second.
Oh, it's just power.
Okay.
So it's not going to send any audio into the speaker or capture any audio from here, although the USB-C connection on the back of the Showbox speaker itself will do that.
Okay.
But this just kind of gives you that power right where you need it, so you don't
Yeah.
have to worry about your iPad running out or your phone or whatever device you're using for, if you're scrolling lyrics or chords or anything like that,
Nice. Now, one of the
which is super cool.
connection I see there too is a micro SD connection on the back of the speaker. And
Yes.
I'll move over to this. So, like, I've got the speaker showing up here. It may be a little hard to see on the camera, but we got a micro SD card connection right here on the back. And the button to hit record is on the mixer. Is there a specific format?
Exactly.
Does it format by itself? Do you know?
I think you're going to need to format. I think you're going to need to plug the card in and format it, if
Okay.
I remember correctly.
Yeah. Sweet. So and that records the overall mix, right?
That records to my knowledge, it records the stereo out. Yes.
Perfect. So,
And then
yeah.
I was going to say one more cool feature on the mixer, and I'll be upfront. I haven't played with it, but I know some people who have. There is a built-in looper on this as well.
I was
So if
looking
you
at
were
that.
looking at that at the breakaway mixer, kind of you've got a loop level for the loop that you're running, and then you've got a loop button on it, but there's also a foot switch jack on the speaker itself.
That was going to be my next question is can that foot switch connection actually control the looper?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you like a little bonus tip, if you have that in front of you, if you turn that little breakaway mixer over, there's like a list of effects and some like quick instructions. So it's like, oh, I don't remember how to do the auto gain. Oh, I don't remember how to set up my scenes. Oh, where are the effects at? If you kind of flip it over, it's also screened on the back of it, which is
That's
kind of cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet. Nice little cheat code book on the back of there.
And one more kind of cool thing, which for me, like in a music store for demoing it, would be really cool. But maybe if you are recording, there is a headphone out on it as well, so you can kind of capture everything. Just plug headphones
Yeah.
on and listen to it. So if you need to, I don't know, maybe if somebody's recording you or something like that while you're doing it, I mean, they could sit there with headphones while you're playing and tweak while you're going. Kind of like front of house engineer there.
Yeah. Now I do have a question about a setting on the back of the box. So there's 3 other settings on the back here,
Yeah.
that I know, like the feedback eliminator and the outdoor mode, kind of
hmm
explanatory there. But what is this PA mode? I
What
haven't
is
seen
the
that on
PA
anything
mode?
else.
Yeah. The PA mode's going to be more for, and to my knowledge, it's kind of pre-EQ'd, so it's going to change the flavor a little bit.
I got you.
If I'm in the PA mode, it's going to be designed more as a sound reinforcement speaker. Is the kind of response I'm going to get out of it.
Gotcha.
As I click it into the amp mode, it's going to be more like, hey, I'm playing my acoustic amp, and I don't want a smiley face EQ necessarily. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Man, this is an awesome little box. Like I said, I got to play with it yesterday. We hooked up a couple guitars to it. We've got a couple Alvarez guitars over here on the wall that I hooked up and just kind of played through and messed with the effects. I really, really like the way it sounds. The effects don't mesh. Like they don't just, it's not like you're just laying it on top of there. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like you just kind of just slap an effect on it and then it's clashing with the signal. It actually has a very nice blend to it. So
No, it sounds great.
now I want to ask you too. So on the ProFx10 Go, have
Yes, sir.
have you had a chance to really play with it a whole lot?
I have not played with it a ton, no.
Okay, so
But lay a question on me and I'll see if I can
yeah,
answer.
so as far as your recording pieces on here, I know this kind of applies to all the new ProFX Pluses, I believe, where it has 3 different
hmm
recording modes. Is it right?
Oh, you're not going to go there, are you? It does. It does. So this, yeah, I've had a hard time wrapping my head around this and having somebody give me a super good explanation.
Because I
So
can
I
get
think
what the standard and the interfaces, because I know the interface is just channels 1 and 2, individually assignable, so it becomes a 2x4 interface. And then I know the standard is just kind of taking the overall mix. The one setting that I'm not a whole lot sure about is the loop back.
yeah, and I think that's going to be if you are recording and you're running in like a Bluetooth signal
I got you.
as well. That's not going to show up in your
Right.
monitoring.
I got you.
So I think it's kind of like a mix minus, if that makes sense.
Right.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
Again, I haven't had the best grasp, and nobody's given me the best explanation yet on the 3 modes. But I'm pretty sure kind of the loop back feature is like if I'm recording a podcast or something,
I got
like
you.
we're doing right now, or
Yeah.
you've got somebody coming in so that they're not doubling up on what's going on.
Sweet. Well, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I mainly wanted to kind of go through this, kind of talk through the Showbox with you more so than anything, and I figured you'd be able to explain it more than I can. And I know you were very excited about it the other day whenever I called you
Oh, I
about
love it. I love it. I've taken it to like some open mics. I'll like guest host for some open mics in the area that I'm at from time to time where, somebody can't make it and they'll have me come and do it. And I've brought this quite a few times and it's super easy for that. Like I said, the huge thing is I can, a lot of people want to jam, so
Right.
I've had like 2 guitar players, 2 singers, and actually plugged a violin with a little preamp into the line input one. So it gives you just a ton of flexibility that you don't get in a lot of these things.
That's awesome. Well, man, I appreciate your time and hopping on and talking with us about it.
Oh, so much my pleasure. You guys rock. I've been
Thanks.
catching your guys' Facebook feed a little bit. You guys have like a lot going on, a lot to offer folks, and
Oh yeah. I mean, we've got the full Mackie
really
line
great doing
here
business
almost
with y'all.
right now. I mean, I'm sitting here staring at 2 Thump 118s. I've got the Thump Go over there. I've got a Thrash 212 Go. I think we've got enough to be able to give you a full Mackie PA over here right now, along with just various mixers. We've got the little Mix 5s over here for drum monitors, all kinds of stuff. I think we even still have an Onyx 16.
Oh, but like an old Onyx 16 or
Like
like the current Onyx
the
16?
current Onyx 16.
Okay.
Now, I do have an old Onyx 16.
Do you really? There
I
you
do.
go.
I still have an original Onyx 16. It was rack mounted in a little rack.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Those were cool.
Yeah, they were cool mixers.
It, I'll tell you one thing about the Plus models. Is as well as you look at that Onyx 16, the effects section out of the Onyx series was brought into the ProFx Plus. So
I got you.
not only are you're getting the Bluetooth channel with the Plus versions, and then the USB-C out as opposed to the USB-A out, but you're also getting that same effects section that's in the Onyx series, which gives you a lot more fine tuning on your effects. Instead of just pick your effect and do you want more or less, you can kind of actually go in there and adjust your time and your feedback, like a low cut as well. So for somebody who's going to be more discerning and maybe use it as a front end recording device and want to add some effects on the front end as opposed to within your DAW,
Yeah.
it gives you like a much better effects palette to
Yeah.
use. And I mean that applies as well to if you're gigging or using it for your rig, in a PA application.
Right.
It's going to give you a better verb.
Well, and the cool thing is that it goes all the way down to the ProFx 6 too. So it's not like you have to go to the ProFx 12. You can get it all the way down to the ProFx 6.
Yep.
So, well, cool.
100%.
Man, that's awesome. Like I said, I thoroughly appreciate your time and kind of hopping on with me and allowing me to showcase this. Like I said, it's kind of cool. Like using it in unconventional ways. I'm one of those people that I really like to push gear to its limits. And I've the Mackie Thump Go. Oh Lord, we've beat that thing to death, and it's still working, and it still sounds great. I laugh whenever I watch Mackie's videos. Whenever they like chunk the ProFx down the hill and like beat it with a speaker stand, and it still works, but it actually does still work.
Well, and that is one of the things Matt brought to the table since the inception of the company. For 30 years ago, it's always been a solid build product. It's always had great features, so it gives you more than you expect, especially within the price range.
Right. And that's been a big thing for me, being able to have hit that certain price range, still have quality, still have everything you need, and not have to worry about, is it going to work whenever I get to the next gig.
Oh yeah. I mean, I know people that have SRM 450s that are 20 years old and they're still using a 1202, and it's 30 years old, and it's just kind of crazy. The stuff, it lasts forever.
Yeah.
I mean, anything can be broken.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you hit it hard enough, eventually it'll break.
It's like, what did you do, man? Come on. But it's like just normal course of stuff, and you can drop it. I've dropped stuff.
Oh yeah. But well, cool, man. Well, like I said, I thoroughly appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on and kind of talking through it and talking through the gear. I'm gonna kind of start going through some of the stuff we got here in the store and getting close to wrapping up. But like I said, thank you for hopping on with me.
No, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being a great partner. And really, anybody who plays some guitar and stuff like that, they should come down to your shop and check one out, because it's a ton of fun and it'll blow your mind. It sounds awesome. I
appreciate that.
Hey, thank you so much, Landry.
Yeah,
you
man.
have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, sir. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Yep.
All right. Bye. All right. So you saw we just sat down and had a full phone call, full podcast set up with just the ProFx10. Right now I've got it hooked up to the Showbox because I'm trying to kind of show you all three at the same time. This entire time the Showbox has been running off a battery. It has an 8-hour battery life. I believe the ProFx10 Go has a 12-hour battery life. And I don't know if you can see over in the corner, we have all the ProFx mixers over here. So we've got the ProFx10 12, we've got the ProFx10 Go, we've got the ProFx 6 Plus over here, along with the Mix 5 if you're trying to do drum monitors. We do still have Thump Goes, we've got the Thrash 212 Goes, we've got the single 18-inch subs. And if you're worried about needing it, but you're not sure if you can get it just yet, the store now has a firm. You can finance anything in here in the store through a firm. You can go to the website at cardinalmusiccompany.com. You can go to the shop, pick your item, and you can put it all through a firm and set it for local pickup and come pick it up here. You'll also notice for certain venues in the Shreveport-Bossier area, if you're out at a gig and you find out that you need strings, you broke something, you need a capo, whatever, you'll see that there's a drop down that we will actually hand deliver that stuff to you. So if you place the order and select emergency drop off, that's kind of our shipping. We're not shipping out beyond that, but we have certain venues that's selected on there that you can go through and select that you're there. You need a capo, you need strings, you buy it, and we bring it right to you. So we're trying to get kind of caught up with some things, trying to get some cool stuff. We've got a lot of new guitars. We've got the new Mackie stuff. If you want to come check it out and put your hands on it, see how it works, and really experience it for yourself, it'll be here. You can always grab my card off the counter if you want to ask some more techie questions. But thank you guys for joining in. Thanks, Jim from Mackie, for hopping on and kind of talking through it with us. Keep an eye out on the Facebook page. We're going to be doing more events. We're going to do classes. We're going to do more live streams and kind of talk about different gears. So thanks for joining in. We'll catch y'all later.